I've been in thousands of homes in my career, whether inspecting or on job sites or renovations in all stages, and there are holes in the walls and ceilings to run electrical wires. I think that homeowners feel guilty when they have to put a hole in the wall to pull electrical wires. Homeowners think electricians have all sorts of fancy tools, tips, and tricks to pull wire through the walls. The truth is, electricians put holes in walls and ceilings all the time. The fact of life is, when you're running electrical wire, sometimes you will have to put holes in your walls and ceilings. It'll take more time to monkey with difficult connections than just put a hole in the wall. In this video, I'm going to show you a pretty quick and easy way to run electrical wire behind your drywall, and it's actually super simple. Let's say you're installing a new ceiling light fixture to an existing circuit, so we need to run electrical cable behind the wall into this switch. All you need is a handy dandy hole saw. The size doesn't matter, but you do want it large enough where your arm can get in there to pull or push the electrical wire. This is a 4.5 inch hole saw. Now, before you cut, you want to make sure you're not going to hit an existing stud or wire. You could get fancy here and also have your shop vac ready to go underneath, sucking up all the debris that's coming out. Hole saws are mostly meant for wood, so the cutting threads are really aggressive. On drywall, after the hole cut, don't throw this piece away. We're still going to use it in a little bit. Okay, of course your power is off because you're working with wires. A little bit further, a little bit further. Okay, got it. Okay, you want enough length to go into your box and then extend out at least 6 inches. Most people will leave a rough cut of about 12 inches while you're working on it. And then you pull in your new electrical wire, of course, strip it and install it. Now, switches only have one terminal. However, if you look closely, some of them have an opening for 2 different wires. All right, I'm not going to put the cover plate back until we fix the hole. Good job, you've made it to this stage. You've pulled the wire, you've made the connections. Let's fix that. Okay, next you just want a piece of wood or strapping back there. It can really be almost anything you have laying around, and just fasten them with normal drywall screws, nothing fancy here. I'm going to pre-thread 2 drywall screws into the wall because I only have so many hands, and then that'll enable me to get the wood blocking in there next. Also, I put a little screw temporarily in the middle to give me something to hold on to. Otherwise, you'll drop it in the wall or wish you had 3 hands. Okay, with the wood approximately centered in the hole, we're simply going to screw it in. So you have to use that handle, if you will, that screw, to pull it towards you and screw into your wood blocking. Just for good measure, since this is a permanent patch, let's go ahead and double up on the screws. Okay, next is the secret weapon. We're going to remove that piece of drywall. I told you we were going to need this later. That's your plug. That will fix the hole really quick. All right, I went ahead and put 2 drywall screws in the plug first. Make sure we're going to hit solid wood there. Now here you can get as fancy as you want. You can put tape around there. Now for hot mud is any quick drying activating joint compound for drywall repairs. This one is a 5-minute super fast. As soon as you activate it with water, a chemical reaction starts and it will dry hard extremely fast. They have a 31 and a 90-minute one as well. Or you can use traditional joint compound mud, but they'll take 24 hours between coats. It comes in powder form. Even has a Ziploc so you can save the extra for later. You don't need a lot for this. I didn't even really need that much. All right, you got to add a little bit of water to it to activate it. Okay, I got my water in there. But you do have to work quick. This fast 5-minute one is for rapid repairs. You do want it thick enough, of course, that it will stick well. Here I've done this without tape many, many times. Go ahead and get it in the low screw heads and the groove. You're going to have at least 2 coats anyways to get a good finish. So this first coat doesn't take much. We're just filling in all the low spots. And then you're going to let it do that dry time. Light sand, you're going to do your second coat. And just for demonstration purposes, I'll show you after the first coat is dry, you're going to sand and come back with progressively wider knives, and you'll get a smooth finish. But you do want it to dry in between coats. Sorry guys, in this video I don't have time to do the second coat and let it dry, but you can get the idea of how easy this is to do it yourself. Okay, like I said earlier, you're going to want to plan in at least 2 coats to have it blend in with the rest of the wall. If you're a perfectionist, plan on 3 coats. You're going to progressively feather it out with wider and wider knives. When you're done, of course, finish paint to match. Maybe you're repainting the room anyways. It will look perfect. Nobody would know that there's wires run back there. Hey guys, I knew you could do it yourself.